Good morning, everybody. We are live. It is Monday, December 18th, 2017. I'm your host, the Bigman on campus. Here with my co-host, Donnie Rightside. It is the right side of campus. We're live on a Monday. Donnie, we call it Manic Monday. Lot to do today. NFL. What a weekend it was in the NFL. Bowl season got going. College basketball's in full front. We got real bowl season starting this coming week, all week. Christmas is on Sunday. Donnie, welcome in. How you doing today?
Hey, doing pretty good out there. Just checking in yesterday. I'm going to have to pay the man this week, Jeff, going 1-2 yesterday. Not, in the cards for me, so to speak. But last night put out a miracle late cover for a little bit of McDonald's money that we gave out on the closing line. The -2.5, Jeff. -120 comes up with the Dallas Cowboys. But damn it, Jeff, we have a lot to talk about in some NFL action. It's going to be some fun today to go over and sort of yell at the referees, yell at the NFL the way it's set up here. A billion upon billion dollar industry sometimes comes down to the most whack calls out there.
I hear you on that. Lot to do. We'll get into it. As always, we welcome in everyone out there listening. It is 10 o'clock. Turn down your TV and listen to us as we get you going here on a Monday. Before we do, though, make sure you hit the like button, comment on the show, let us know you're out there, send in questions, whatever you got. But before you do anything today, make sure you check out SBR, all the sort of great things that SBR has to offer. SBR Picks, got the show schedule, all the different shows that you like will be listed there and what you're looking for today. You can learn about Bitcoin. You can look at all sorts of different articles. You got top NBA picks headed into the week here. Falcons Bucks preview. All sorts of college breakdowns. All sorts of things. Make sure you're using it. There's links to everything. The forum, the contest page. How you can, if you have an issue with a sportsbook on sportsbookreview.com, you can send that in. All sorts of ways to find out more about everything at SBR. SBRpicks.com, place to go. And also SBR Odds, Donnie, as always, one of the best odds services in the business. Make sure you're using those as well. I'm a little tongue-tied today, Donnie. Lot on my head right now. Let's get into it. Lot going on. We got people joining us. We say hello to them. Make sure you hit the like button, like I said. We got plenty of people in here already. Donnie, let's get into the show. We start out with the morning headlines as we always do, because we are kind of that Good Morning America type of show, Donnie. Which that kind of is a good feel. We're like the Good Morning America of sports betting, Donnie.
No, yeah, it just rise and shine and everything. And I see right there starts off the day. Richardson to sell the Panthers. A major sports team now up for sale. Somebody's going to rake in around $2 billion, $2.5 billion when it's all said and done. But the reasoning behind the sale of the Panthers there, Jeff, not because you just wanted to get out. The timing was right. You made a lot of money on your investment. Some stuff going on the inside, which seems to be the flavor of the day in every single industry, the NFL, whether you're on NFL camera, like you're on the NFL network, you're getting pinched, you're getting fired. Whether or not you own an NFL team at this point, looks like you're getting pinched and fired in this point. But this guy's going to go out the door after settling his settlements there with whoever he was harassing around the office and probably going to put maybe $1.5 billion in his pocket.
Yeah, listen, I mean, he's going to ride off in the sunset and everything's going to be all right with Jerry Richardson. But the truth of the matter is he's an old, rich scumbag who thinks because he has money, he can do what he wants. Listen, you try to, I don't know, Donnie, if you remember, like a month or two ago, it came out that George Bush Sr. was when he would take a picture with a woman, he would comment on, their feature or whatever. And I remember, look, when you're, what is he, 95 years old? It's kind of like, okay, well, we just chalk it up. He's 95. But, when it continues to happen, it's like, you know what? I mean, come on, man. Like, you're just using what you are to do what you want. And in this case, Jerry Richardson, it was known around that team that when Jerry Richardson came by, it was going to be weird. I mean, the comments and questions he's asking people are just, look, in an office setting, you can't do it. And he used his power to basically assault people. Just some weird things too, like shaving women's legs and kind of stuff like that. He should sell the team. I mean, he's old. This is what I think more owners should do. Get more competent people in there. It's time for Jerry to ride off in the sunset. He's going to have to pay a lot of people money, but I'm sure his wife's, well, it's, Jerry being Jerry, it's time
Yeah,
to,
the two Jerrys out there. There's some stuff about Jerry Jones. I'm waiting for the next shoe to fall in Jerry Jones with some of those pictures out there, right?
yeah, I'm also getting sick of this whole, this good old Southern boys club. It's okay. That's how Southern gentlemen are. I mean, we saw it with Roy Moore. I mean, come on. I mean, we're not going to use that. That's where he's using this excuse. Well, he's a Southern gentleman. He goes over and puts the seatbelt on the woman. Come on. I mean, let's stop using that as an excuse. Yeah, Jerry needs to move on, sell the team.
How about buying the team though, Jeff? Who's out there putting on Twitter that they want to buy the
Oh
team
my
right
God.
now?
I hope he does. Motto, give me P. Diddy, please. Please buy the team. Please.
You want to talk about if this is what's going to happen here. You want to talk about the worst PR video of all time to buy an NFL team? Like, imagine if he said, "I'm going to buy the Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Bridesburg Eagles," and you're going, like, "Yo, bro, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not the North Carolina Panthers. You have an MVP caliber quarterback. You're not signing a guy off the street to take your MVP caliber quarterback out." I mean, you want to have a worse PR video to buy a team? I think P. Diddy gave it.
I didn't even see he actually said North Carolina Panthers.
The
Wow.
North Carolina Panthers, I'm going to sign Colin Kaepernick to be my quarterback. So he doesn't even want Cam Newton.
I'll tell you this. He's not wrong. I mean, they are in North Carolina. I'm not sure why they're called.
Yeah, but you can't come out and say the North Carolina Panthers.
No,
That's like saying
I
the
know.
New York City. I'm going to come out and buy the New York City Nets. Like, wait a second.
No, you're right. I know.
That's pretty funny.
He definitely should get it right.
He said he would have
He's gonna
live
buy it.
halftime shows, though, Jeff. He said he would rock out halftime shows, though.
I'm fully in on him buying them. He should. He'll have other investors too. It won't be totally just him. I think he'd put some hipness into the NFL. I like it. I think he should do it. He's got enough money for it.
The only thing I hope he does, if he does buy the team, Jeff, that he doesn't go out there and do a Derek Jeter and put like $100 down and say, "I'm the owner," and then strip the team down.
Oh yeah, like just sell everybody. Yeah. Now they get, and Derek Jeter sold all his players to the Yankees.
Exactly.
His whole team.
Maybe Diddy would hook up the Giants, I guess. Who would Diddy hook up? The Giants, probably the Jets.
Well, luckily, yeah. He's not a former player or something, and he's not going to hook up anybody. I don't think he would do it like, he's not going to do it like that. Donnie, I apologize. I'm sorry that I'm all over. For whatever reason, this link never goes out to people, so I have to like do it while I'm talking here.
I retweeted a couple times, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know why it didn't go out. What's the issue here?
It's early, Jeff.
All
Early.
right.
There we go.
Yeah, well, I know it's early for everybody here. What the hell is a catch? Great point.
Yeah.
Idea. The rules in this league are absolutely appalling. I mean, they continue to just turn people off, I feel like. And I made a comment last night on Twitter that's why people like me don't watch the NFL, because of horrible decisions, horrible calls. Nobody knows the rules. Nobody knows anything, Donnie, as they say. We talked about it on the closing line last night with the catch with Jesse James at the end of that Pittsburgh game. It was ridiculous. It was clearly a touchdown. The rule makes no sense. I can't even explain the rule. It's so stupid. Can you try to make sense of this rule? Because I can't.
There's no sense to the rule. And they have to make it so ambivalent that it gives them a way out. Like, it's like different rule for an environment. It's like to say where you can just like put your mind to it. And somebody had a good tweet. I forget who retweeted around. Playing flag football with your friends, playing high school football, playing college football. It's a catch in every sense of the word except the pro football level, which is completely asinine. We know what it is, right, Jeff? Like, if you throw me the football and I catch it and drop it, I'm like, you know what? That's a drop pass. I didn't have control of it. But we know what a catch is. The whole going to the ground notion. Just complete, because you can watch it. Like, we know what a catch is, Jeff. But in the NFL, I guess it has to be so ambiguous out there that you just say, what the hell? We'll make it up on the fly. I mean, we talked about it all night. Basically burned Twitter down. The Steeler fans are losing their mind, and they have every right to do so.
If I'm running with the ball, like you mentioned, and I put the ball out in front of me, and it's in my hands, and it crosses the goal line, the play is over. I mean, there's no other. It's over. And that's what happened. I'd love it. People are saying, well, he bobbled the ball at the end. Did you see the bobble? I didn't. I didn't see
No,
the
the
ball
bobble
really
was
move.
when he slammed the ball down over the goal line for a touchdown. And somebody had a good. They should amend the rule, Jeff. If your knee comes down, aren't you now a runner? You know, I mean, come on.
Brutal. Brutal call. If you're the Steelers, which, listen, they made their own mistakes. I'm with you. But again, we wouldn't have had to deal with the Ben Roethlisberger play because the game would have been probably over at that point. And we never would have had to see that. But again, a terrible decision by Ben Roethlisberger to throw the football. It was it had shades. It was the exact same play as that Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl, where Darrell Bevel decided instead of running with Marshawn to get a half a yard, we're going to throw the football and hand the Patriots the Super Bowl. The fucking Patriots are the luckiest team in the fucking world. It's amazing.
No, they do. They get breaks. I mean, it's about coaching too. I mean, they're coached up as well as anybody. Can you, like, Jeff, look at like other sporting leagues out there, right? In Major League Baseball, a ball is hit field, right? It's a fly ball. You can clearly tell when somebody catches the ball when they drop it, right? There's no ambiguous there. And also, how about when you're completing a double play ball? You know, you're trying to get the exchange quick. You catch the ball, and on the exchange, you lose it. And the ump's coming in like, yep, he caught the football. Can you, like, why is it so different in football? Like, you can't catch the football and then get hit, you know, as soon as you put 1 to 2 feet down, but you don't turn around, so it's not a football move. Isn't a football move, Jeff, to catch the football? Isn't that a move?
You would think. Yeah.
Amazing.
And then we go to the Steelers game, or not the Steelers game, the Dallas game, which you look at rules in that game too.
Oh my God!
Okay,
Let's get to that index card. Yes.
Listen, this is a $13 billion business. Okay, all you have to do is get down on the ground, and I'm talking about. Listen, the first down thing with the index card, that's never going to happen again. That was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. But all Sterators got to get on the ground and do is look, basically, just get down on your stomach and look at it. He gets an index card out, or whatever that was, and uses it to measure the fucking first down. Are you fucking kidding me? With this league? I mean, I can't even
make
explain
sense
how
about that,
ridiculous
Jeff.
that is.
Like when we were watching the game live, and I'm looking at it, the camera angle was still far enough back where you technically couldn't tell. So he slides the index card down there, and he just calls first down. Now the game is over, and you see the still shots where they got up close. Was it me that the index card fit in there easily and wasn't touch football? Like, I don't even know where, like, how technical can that not be where you just look down and you see and you slide an index card? I saw space between the football and the marker itself.
And the paper was like wobbling all around. It was like bended. It was just, it was ridiculous. I mean, if you just get one of the refs to go on one side, you go on the other side, you get down on your stomach and you look at it. You could see. I mean,
and it was an awful spot to begin with anyway. He didn't get the first down on that. I mean, you leap into the pile, you crush into a couple bodies, and then you're able to dip back and then dip into it again, which you couldn't see anything. The ref on the bottom of the screen looks like he had a better spot, but it depends on which ref comes in and gets the actual spot of the football. It was amazing.
I thought with forward progress, like initially he got it, but then he got pushed back. Again, what they decided that it could have went either way, really. I mean, it was very close, and it ended up being the reason they lost the game. And I think that's a lot of why Marshawn Lynch was pissed off at the end of the game. He got a 50-yard penalty. I think he's just sick of the fucking bullshit rules. Then Derek Carr, who, by the way, Donnie,
Idiot Carr.
The defense of the Dallas Cowboys allowed Oakland to move the football to get into the red zone. Derek Carr makes a football player run towards the end zone, drops the ball, and just because of the way the ball rolls, it goes through the back of the end zone, and it's his fault, and it's a safety.
Yeah, Derek Carr's an idiot. Yeah, Derek Carr's a straight-up idiot moron, and you can't defend that play on that. I mean, I get the hustle play. You have the first down. You run out of bounds at the 1-yard line. You win the football game. It's first and goal from the 1. Why are you or Jeff, at least, put the ball in 2 hands, right? You try to dive for the pylon, but worst case scenario, your knee is going to hit at the 1. You get knocked out of bounds. Why are you supermaning your body from the 1? And it wasn't even, the worst part about it, Jeff, is it wasn't even close. Let's just say he had the angle, right? And he's like, you know what? I'm going to make it, and he just lost the football. No, but I'm saying, he had no shot to get that football into the end zone. None. Zero. Like, if he had an open, let's just say, remember Wentz in Seattle? I can live with that because that's you're running in the middle and somebody just rips it out. But the fact that you're trying to Superman the ball in one hand and reach out, and you're at like the 1.5. Like, you're not where you just can reach out and punch it in and like pull the ball back. It was unbelievable that he would be that stupid. Like, 4th down, hey, I get it. No time on the clock, I get it. If you just run out of bounds, you win that football game in that spot. Good for me. It ended up winning me a little bit of money on that football game, but unbelievable decision. That basically ends the Oakland Raiders season right there.
And, I'm going to have to admit to something, Donnie, which I don't necessarily want to admit, but I'm going to because I'm an open guy, and that's what we do here on the show. So last night, Donnie, you and I were chatting right after the closing line. You were telling me how you like Dallas, and my book was giving me 3 on the game. So I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. All right. I think Dallas is going to win the game. I get 3.5 on a teaser. I teased under 0, Donnie. Listen to that. The double whammy. I got 3.5 on Dallas, so I won that. But I teased the under to 39, Donnie. Or to over to 39. So the safety pushes. So if they just kick the field goal there, or or Dallas on the other end, Dallas, Donnie, Dallas can't get a first down from like the 3-yard line. Remember?
They can't get a touch. It was 1st and goal. They ran it 3 straight times versus that Oakland defense. You tell me Alfred Morris is that much of a slug? You're right, man.
24-17, I would have won. They kick a field goal. They go up. It goes to 37. So I'm just hoping that either do they kick a field goal, go to overtime, and Dallas wins in overtime, and I win. But that's why you don't do teaser, because of shit like that. If I would have just laid the 3, I could have pushed, got my money back, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I went straight up D-Gen. I'm 19 years old again. I'm going to bet and blow my money up. Brutal
There's only one game on. I need to put a teaser there. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah. And I don't even know why I did it, because I wasn't even doing the betcast. I didn't even watch the game, basically. I just sat here.
Gives the Cowboys life, Jeff. Gives the Cowboys life. So, I mean, we'll see what happens on that part. Interesting stuff there. Yeah.
I hate this fucking league, and I still find a way to bet on it late. I don't know why. I don't. We get into the NFL, though, the rest of the league and what happened. It feels like we've been talking about it for a half an hour because so many stupid things happened. It's amazing that we continuously have to have these conversations. It's amazing. Donnie, where are we going first? What stupidity you want to discuss first?
The NFL Sunday recap for us there. The Legion of Doomed, Jeff. As you saw yesterday, one of those last nails, it looks like that's going to get put in the coffin of the Seattle Seahawks 2017 campaign. And on the side of the Seattle Seahawks, like an absolute moron. There were a couple games at 4 o'clock I was looking at, tried to take the best of the bunch, which was the worst of the bunch yesterday. Seattle Seahawks at home, was hoping some windy conditions came in there. Some rain came in, and Russell Wilson would do his thing. I should have known better. That team stinks out loud on the offensive line. I should have known that the Rams would beat the hell out of their offensive line. I should have known that the Rams were much more healthy than the Seattle Seahawks, but I've seen Russell Wilson at home do, chicken salad and the chicken shit many times and keep the game close. They were outmanned, outclassed, and got rocked yesterday, and probably now going on the road to play the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they're still technically alive, but somebody planted their flag at the 50-yard line in Seattle, and it wasn't the Seattle Seahawks, Jeff.
You talk about a team with a bunch of bullshit going on. I mean, every week this team has people yelling at each other, getting into the fights on the sidelines, trying to go into the crowd. Does Pete Carroll have any control over this team at all? I mean, they do whatever they want. Now you got Earl Thomas and Bobby Wagner getting into each other. I mean, this team is a bunch of it's a shit show. After you get murdered by the Rams, they're done. See you later, Seattle. You're not. I don't think
right. It's amazing.
I don't think you're going to go beat Dallas. I mean, Dallas with Ezekiel Elliott back, looking to try to get into the playoffs. They don't deserve to get into the playoffs. See you later, Seattle. And maybe Pete Carroll should get control of his team a little bit.
No, but you live on that chaos. I mean, he wanted to preach that chaos over the past 5-6 years, and we have fun, and we have free spirits on the team. Well, free spirits go free-spirity when you're getting hammered weekly out there and things aren't looking up. And, Earl Thomas, that's interesting. Bobby Wagner, Earl Thomas erased that, deleted the tweet out there basically saying, dude, you were hurt. You couldn't go sideline to sideline, and you tried to gut it out and ended up hurting us. And, you're taking my shine and this and that. It's amazing. But, yes, the Legion of Doomed is appropriate for Monday morning today, Jeff.
Juan Juarez, welcome in. Thanks for listening. Brady Martin Big man, thank you for teaser story. Discipline is the challenge. Settle down, Brady. All right. I don't usually. I never bet teaser. All right. Last night you know, I was a
Well,
little
no,
bit
I think he's
jaded.
giving you props, saying
No,
yes,
I
like
know, I know.
yeah.
I'm only messing with him. When I say settle down, I want to make this clear. I'm just doing it to kind of have fun and make. Gabe always says it. No, I don't do teasers, and leave that be the lesson to all of you. Teasers are the devil. They're not. At least they didn't tease basketball, Donnie, which a lot of people do. And by the way, I had the Cavs last night, so yeah, they made it all better. So Lucky's in here. Welcome in. Um,
Mhm.
by the way, Don, I heard Lucky's going on a date with that Temple cheerleading coach. Shout out to
How about
him.
that? Yeah, he runs North Broad. Sure.
I don't know if he's being truthful there, but he told me he's going out on a date with her. That's great. Michael Bennon is an upstanding citizen. I like Michael Bennon. I think he's a warrior for justice, and he is listen, the whole Donnie, I don't put him in the same level as like Perfect, but I do want to shout out Perfect. Okay, first of all, Vontaze Perfect plays football. Okay, he tries to get in people's heads. Is he doing it the right way? Maybe not morally, but it is football. It's the NFL. He's got to do what he's got to do, Donnie, as they say, right?
Well, yep. Yes, he does.
I mean, am I right? Isn't he trying to get in people's heads, Donnie? It's football.
No, I know he is. I mean, I don't getting people's heads is one thing. Like talking a lot of smack. There's a lot of people that talk professional smack out there, which I really enjoy. But when you're taking cheap shots left and right, I don't really enjoy that too much. So
Big man, you claim the NFL's bad, but you watch soccer, which is more corrupt than any sport in the world. Teddy, listen, I'm not going to go down that road. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no comment. Um, we would have to have an intervention if you teased basketball, right? Which I don't. Thank God. Let's get into what else went on in the NFL yesterday. Pat's headed to the top seed. Yes, we talked about
yep.
that. Again, Donnie, I made the comment last night on the Betcast. If you root for the Patriots, you like everything wrong in the world because you basically decide to root for that team year after year. I mean, how could you root for that team? I mean, they're just a bunch of shitheads. They always seem to win. They always seem to get every fucking call. How can you root for the
Yeah.
Patriots? You root for the
No,
Patriots.
you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
You're just
Like back in the day when I was a kid, the same way I look at Chicago Bulls fans from the 90s. I mean, just a bunch of punks out there. Couldn't leech on to anything. You're wearing a Jordan jersey around the city of Philadelphia. I mean, come on, man. Like Charles Barkley was
right.
our guy. It's the same way. If you in New England and you like the New England Patriots, I get it. Same way if you're from the state of Texas and you like the Cowboys, or if you're from Pittsburgh and you like the Steelers, that's your squad. That's your regional territory out there. But if you're a Patriots fan, you're hanging out in North Carolina or Florida or, Texas or California, same way Bulls fans. If you're not from the state of Illinois and you're a Bulls fan, you're a clown. You're a straight up clown. Always
I
had that
will
thought.
say this: if you are from Southie, or you're from Dorchester, or you're from Providence, Rhode Island, okay, it's okay to root for the Patriots. You're from that area. There's nothing wrong
Yes.
with that. But if
Nothing.
you're from Washington D.C., root for the Patriots, get a fucking grip. Just like every other fan out there. I love these kids, these guys I know this kid in South Philly, Don. He's lived in South Philly his whole life. He's from fucking 12th and Chunk his whole life.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
roots for the Cowboys. He's got a cowboy tattoo on his fucking left
Yep.
arm. Get the fuck out of here. Put him in the fucking bathroom, Donnie. Come on.
Yep.
If you're
Now,
from
dude,
Europe,
like we can
that's
go.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. If you're from
Like we
Europe
can go
and
the opposite way on that, Jeff. Like if you grew up in the city of Philadelphia and you're like a diehard Browns fan, you'd be like, you know what? There's just something wrong in your head, but I got a little bit of respect for that. You know what I mean? But it's not. You never see that. Like, oh man, I always grew up the biggest, Cleveland Browns fan. You're like, no, like, or I
actually,
love the Cowboys. Hey, when I was
you
a
know
kid, I
what?
used to watch the Cowboys. Come on, man.
If you were from Europe and you picked the Patriots, you're just as bad because you basically picked the Patriots
Yeah.
because they win every year. That's a punk
Yeah.
move too. To root for, look, I get you want to root for the NFL. That's great, but you pick the Patriots. Get the fuck out of here. Put him in a bathroom, Donnie. Put him in the
Yeah.
fucking bathroom. Bathroom's getting filled up, but you put him in it. You're from Europe and
Yep,
you root for the Patriots.
you're coming up late too. You got Robert Kraft as an older guy, might be selling the team. Who knows how long he has. Belichick's getting up there and older. Tom Brady, father time, sooner or later is going to catch up to him. We'll see how tough those Patriot fans are in a couple of years.
Yeah, well, again, I'd like to see how many of those are rooting for the Patriots before Tom Brady got there, and they're all big time
Yeah.
Patriot fans. Get the fuck out of here. Did you see the video I tagged you? No, I didn't, but I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that Steeler fan. Yeah, listen, I'm not that bad where I'm like throwing food and shit all over my house, but I do get pretty bad. I just don't have food in front of me that I can throw around. But that guy was definitely a little out of order. Um, where are we going here? Take another Valium, Bigman. Well, I already took it today. You guys sound like you've been rooting for the crappy Eagles. No, we're just tired of fraud fans that root for teams just because they win all the time. The Patriots are everything bad about the NFL. We want teams. We don't want to root for teams that win every fucking year. We want to see someone else win. And we're sick of the same old team, the same old Patriots get every goddamn call. Every player works out when they go to New England. Every official loves. It's just bullshit. It gets old. And we're a show that talks about football, and we're tired of it. I know Donnie's tired of it. I'm tired of it. Nothing bad ever happens to New England. How come Tom Brady never, he goes out 1 year with an ACL injury, and of course comes back the next year and like nothing happened. Every receiver doesn't work anywhere else, but of course they go to New England and they're Jerry fucking Rice. It's amazing, Donnie, isn't it?
It is amazing like that. Teddy B says, Donnie, if the Vikings and Eagles tie in wins and losses, who owns the tiebreaker for the number 1 seed? That would be the Philadelphia Eagles right now that would own that tiebreaker. And the tiebreaker is due to common opponent. The one common opponent was that Carolina Panthers game, which the Eagles beat the Panthers on the road, and the Minnesota Vikings lost to the Panthers. Therefore, gives them that de facto edge in the matchup there.
Can we talk about the Panthers for sale? We already talked about that a little earlier. Listen, it's Diddy's team. Diddy's team, baby. It's going to Huff Daddy. Sean Combs is the new owner of the North Carolina Panthers, baby. How about that? Donnie,
change to North Carolina, too. I like it. Go ahead.
Yeah, which he should, because it is in North Carolina. Yeah. I don't know why they're called the Carolina Panthers. The Eagles, they need to take care of business, okay? I mean, that defense has major issues right now, which okay, Eric. Yeah, you know everything, Eric. Eric Swiatek, everybody. Eagle season's over. Stop it. Eric Swiatek has to be a New England fan. Has to be. He's tired of us talking about his team. You know what, Eric? Just root for your team. You can hide behind your avatar, but we know you're a New England fan. Donnie, talk about the defense. McLeod was brutal. This big-time defensive line that everyone talks about every week, where have they been? I mean, where's the pressure coming from? Where are they at?
Yeah, it wasn't a good one yesterday. And sometimes you want to chalk it up, Jeff, when you play that team that you know the quarterback is going to throw interceptions. So maybe you get a little bit greedy back there and you say, all these wideouts suck. So it doesn't matter what I bite on. I'm still going to be able to make up the speed and do this and that. And the Giants came right out and punched the Eagles in the mouth. And I say this, like Eli overall played a pretty good football game. But if Eli Manning is not in that football game, like the key play of the game, Jeff, Eagles down 20-7, ball at midfield. Eli just throws a ball like into the middle of nowhere, which Darby, who had an awful game, actually intercepts the ball, makes a nice run back to get the Eagles back in the red zone. That game might be completely different if they can take control because stupid play calling by Doug Peterson. You have a 3rd and 2, Jeff. What do you do instead of running the football? When you have a run pass option, you throw the ball flat that gets like a half of a yard, and then you bring in LeGarrette Blount, which for some reason is your closer who now can't close out games or even get short yardage. When Jay Ajayi, every time it seems to touch the football, makes something happen. It's him and Corey Clement out there, Jeff, should be getting the bulk of the carries, where if you want to spell them once in a while for LeGarrette Blount carry or two, but this whole changing of the guard at running backs makes no sense. Like hand the ball off to Ajayi, he gets 25 yards. Throw the ball in the flat to Ajayi or a screen pass to Ajayi, he gets 30 yards. Take him out, put LeGarrette Blount in, stuffed. I don't understand that, but you're right. Eagles season is not over. Eagles have 2 games left. They're going to put away the Raiders. They're going to get the top seed. They're going to rest against the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to have a couple weeks to get ready and play at home in the first round. The Eagles will be in the NFC title game. Can they win the NFC title game? Because that's going to be some stiff-ass competition that the Eagles are going to have to step up to, but they will be home for the holidays, and something to be said about that, Jeff. If you look now, you're home next week. You're home the following week. You have off. You're home the following week. They're going to be damn near home for like 2 months, Jeff, it seems like, if they even make it to the NFC title game.
First of all, they are making it the NFC title game, and they are going to win.
Yeah, they get there.
Okay? The question is, can they win in the Super Bowl? Nick Foles looked great yesterday. I don't think he's the problem. which we mentioned and I mentioned, Nick Foles is the best backup in the league. He's going to be fine. He knows what to do. He knows how to run the team, and he was great yesterday. The problem I have with the defense is they looked great for most of the year, and now they're seeming to struggle a bit. Jim Schwartz has to get it figured out. I don't know. Again, there's no excuse because your linebackers were
On
healthy.
third downs was awful. Third downs was. Where was Joe Walker? Was he? I thought he was coming back yesterday.
I have a feeling, Donnie. I mean, maybe we could chalk it up to just being that the Giants have their number. I mean, because if you look at it in the first game, Eli had a big game also. I mean, I think he threw
Eagles clown the Giants every year. I mean, number maybe point spread wise.
No. This year, go back to the first game. They almost lost that game too. I mean, Eli Manning had a decent year against the Eagles. First game, he threw for like 360 yards also. Again, I mean, this team, you can hate on the Eagles all you want. The truth of the matter is they have home field advantage if they win this week. Yeah. They're going to have the upper hand. They already have a first round bye. I know we can laugh, but it's one game, okay? Defensively, they didn't look good. They have to get it figured out.
Now all of a sudden, hold on, because we're going to talk about some other stuff too when you're, rolling around and taking a look at things. I mean, you beat the Rams on the road in the fourth quarter when you were losing that football game with your backup Nick Foles in there. Now, turn around and look at what the Rams have been doing this year. I mean, that's no small slouch. You went into the Meadowlands with a divisional opponent, and you pulled out that victory after being down 2 touchdowns in the first half with your backup quarterback. I mean, there's something to be said about good football teams win those football games. Right. They could have rolled over and got bounced and said, hey, we just lost 35-7 to the Giants. They came back and won. They're going to get a really bad Raiders team here on Christmas when the Raiders are basically dead and out of it because the Raiders are going to play the Eagles on Monday night and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to play on Saturday. So by the time that game even kicks off, the Raiders will be out. So they're going to win that football game. The one key ingredient here is Dallas is going to get a little bit of a break by a shambles Seattle Seahawks team heading down the stretch, and the Eagles not playing anybody when they play them. It's funny, when you see the Dallas Cowboys, they run up the 2%, I guess, the chance that the Eagle or the Cowboys can, sweep the next 2 games, or 9% chance of making the playoffs. Those stupid computers and analytics don't take into effect that the Eagles are sitting everybody in that football game. So there's one for your analytics crowd out there, Jeff.
Yeah, amen. The Eagles' hope is hilarious. I get your fans, but Nick Foles, LOL. The delusion of grandeur is serious.
Nick Foles was great yesterday. He was
First of all, Rashawn, do you have any idea what you're talking about? And really, I know you're a Patriots fan and you're delusional because you think every player plays like Tom Brady and you root for a team that wins every year. So you're quite the fan, I have to admit. You never have struggle. You never have to deal with anything bad. But for us, we're a realistic NFL team and things happen to us. So yes, we are going to have continued grandeur hopes because we're real football fans, unlike you, clearly. So, yes, we are going to be hilarious and we are going to root for our team because even though sometimes it's not always good here and most of the time it's not good, we still root for our team regardless. Unlike you, who roots for a team that always wins. You decided to pick that team probably when you were 16 because you liked Tom Brady and you knew they were going to be good. So, again, Rashawn, we do have hope, but that's what we do in this town. We have hope. Donnie, Jimmy Garoppolo, someone's calling him a baller. He is a baller, and I'm going to take this continued opportunity to make the case. They will win the division next year. Jimmy Garoppolo is a baller. They have a lot of good things going on in that team right now. John Lynch knows how to seemingly already GM. I like that team, really do. Like what I've seen out of Jimmy G. He can lead a football team exactly what they needed.
I don't know if they're taking down the Rams, though, next year, Jeff. I mean, the Rams look like they're ready to make that stake. Like, we're going to be here for a while. I mean, Rams are a young, good football team only looking to add on. So that's going to be a tough one, man. But I like it. I like you throwing it out there because he does play good football. And you know that offensive style Kyle Shanahan throws out there. So it looks like it's a perfect fit and match. And you're right. They're running out there, Jeff, with not much talent and really playing well when the season doesn't matter. It's easy to fold and check it and just put it away. It'll be interesting to see when they get a full, healthy staff over there next year, especially on defense.
Seriously, you guys are sharp. This is not the first time I've seen your Eagles rose-colored glasses cloud.
Well, Jeff, he's just baiting you. So stop. So don't. It's the simple point is, like, if you look at the Eagles right now, right? They're not the best team in the NFL. They took a huge hit by losing the MVP. They're going to win their first divisional game when they come back off the bye. Whether or not they can win that NFC title game is what we're looking at. I'm not saying the Eagles are going right to the Super Bowl and win it because I don't think they can at this point. But they will be in the NFC Championship game because when you're home, when you're rested, when you're off a bye, and the team that's going to play them before, let's just say, you throw two teams out there, Jeff. The Atlanta Falcons are going to play the New Orleans Saints. They are going to punch each other in the mouth when the Eagles sit back and watch two dome teams go out. Who's going to win that game? Then you're going to have to fly up north and play in 31 degrees or 25 degrees from a dome team on a rested and ready football team. It's hard to win in the playoffs on the road. The second level team, that's going to be another ramp up. But the Eagles should be able to win for a divisional home game.
Again, I agree with you. But, this guy's a Browns fan. We're actually explaining things to a Browns fan. Must suck. Again, he had a great game. The Giants. He played who's on the schedule, Eric. I don't know what else you want. We're not. How are we being not being realistic, Eric? Explain. They have the home field advantage. Hopefully, they have a first round bye. What are we being? What are we not being realistic about, Donnie? I don't get it here.
It's not like the Eagles have the best record in football, is it?
Yeah, and it's not like if you read Twitter, I basically stopped watching the game yesterday because it was so disgusting.
Yeah, you know what? I want to bring that up. That was a great jinx you put on. As soon as they fourth down, you checked out, and it was damn near Jeff. Maybe 10 real-time minutes, not even football minutes. The Eagles came back and took the lead. So I do love the reverse jinx, and you are the man for that.
Donnie, you have to admit I'm pretty good at it, right?
That was amazing, Jeff. It was literally, it was 20-7, and I go upstairs to get a drink, and I'm telling my wife, dude, I can't believe the Eagles are this bad. They're going to get run by the Giants. I come back down, see your tweet, and it was literally boom, bang, bing, bang, and it was because right away the Darby interception took place. They punch it in, 3-and-out block punt, and they go in again. I'm like, damn, Jeff, good for you, man.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll take it. How about that? I listen. I try to perfect the jinx, and it seems to work a lot of the time. By the way, for all you Case Keenum lovers out there, I do want to mention for all the people that want to say blah 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 da 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 da. He's so great. Nick Foles career numbers in Case Keenum. By the way, just wanted to put that out there. I know Case having a great season, and I see someone saying Case is better than Nick Foles. All right, he's had a great year. I'm not going to knock you, but Nicky Foles, Nicky Six, he's going to be fine. Don't worry about it.
Jeff, the way it sets up, if you're looking at the playoffs, let's just say everything holds the way it is. That game, which looks like it might be the Vikings and the Rams, is going to be sensational football, man, in that divisional round weekend. That number 2 seed is going to get a heavyweight punch because it looks like it's either going to be the New Orleans Saints or the Rams in that spot, or might even get the, if Carolina stays hot, get the Carolina Panthers playoffs, man. NFL playoffs are awesome. Cream of the crop in there. It should be a lot of fun to watch, and we'll see how it plays out there. But, just to hang the rest of that Sunday NFL recap, Patriots get the top seed. It's not the Patriots' fault, Jeff, that they play in the worst division in the history of football over the last 15 years, where they basically say when the season kicks off, when the very first kick goes off, and then the Patriots already won the division. Hopefully that changes in the next couple of years, though.
Agreed. Dottie, let's move on. I feel like we've talked the NFL enough here. Let's move on. We move on to the bowl season, which got going pretty decently on Saturday, Donnie. Bowls were, you started out right up at the top. I mean, how about Troy, Donnie? 50 points. Listen, I thought North Texas defense was bad, and it was one of the reasons I bet them in this game and bet Troy. But I didn't think this offense was this good. Brandon Silvers, Donnie, was sick of hearing that his offense wasn't good enough. 50 burger up on North Texas. Mean Green, solid team, but without Jeff Wilson and without a competent defense, Donnie, I think Seth Luttrell, you'd have to think at some point he's got to look to move on from North Texas. I think his seat's hot enough. You're a good coach. Move on somewhere else.
Whose seat's hot enough, Luttrell?
No,
move on in a good way, you mean?
No, I mean he needs to leave North Texas to deal with the fact that he's a great coach and he should move on.
Oh, gotcha.
North Texas is below him at this point. He needs to move on. Go to Purdue or something. Go to a team that has a little bit better of a. I mean, North Texas. No offense to North Texas, but move on. But a nice win for Troy.
I mean, it was one one of the bowl videos. I actually went 3-2 in my bowl videos. Was 3-1 heading into the final game with Stockstill, which we'll get to in a second there, who actually pulled off a nice victory in that one. But yeah, Troy just all over that. And the same thing we pointed out, Jeff. They can't stop the run. They don't play very good defense, catch up with you when you play a common opponent. So Troy eased there. Disappointing Colorado State University's season this year, Jeff, ending up 7-6. I was able to win that as well. Just heading into the game, Jeff, Colorado State has so much more talent in that football game, but for some reason, that's not a 7-6 football team in that division. Awful year for Mike Bobo. He gets extended as a head coach, and his staffers get extended as well. I don't know if that was the year to extend them there. You open up the new stadium, you have a lot of talent on that team. You end up 7-6 with a bowl loss. Not impressed, Jeff.
No, they looked really poor in that game. And I know they try to make a comeback. And, Marshall, the big key in bowls a lot of the time, Donnie, is they have a lot of seniors on that team. They have a lot of players on that team that, cared about that game. When you do a bowl game and you have teams that are just kind of into it, at the end of the day, Litton's a good quarterback, a solid tight end in Juracek, a real good run game. Actually, Marshall got a lot better than they were last year. That was a solid win. Doc Holliday, Donnie, is still undefeated in bowl games. He's never lost a bowl game. I think he's 6-0 in his career. So when he's in a bowl game, it's hard to go against him. Looks like the public agreed. Got Marshall bet down from 5.5 to 3. They win the game outright. Donnie, Oregon really had trouble, obviously, on defense, which is always the problem. They can't get stops, Donnie. They're not good enough defensively. And in a program like that, if you're feeling that you have to be getting sick of this year after year, defensively it's not good enough. Boise good. They really played well towards the end of the season. They're an outright winner as about a plus 220 underdog. Big win for the Broncos over a pretty solid Oregon team.
Yeah, I like taking point the film video. It's still Taggart still wasn't out yet as the Oregon coach, and still liked the Boise State squad in this ball game. Running back came back healthy. They played really good defense in that. It was just a cherry on the top when Royce Freeman just says, "You know what? I'm headed to the NFL. I'm not going to play in this football game." And it was kind of funny to me where he was on the field trying to rally the troops. So if you're looking at him like, "Let's go, let's go," like, dude, you should be out here in uniform. What do you mean, let's go? How about you go out on the field and try to help us win this football game? Boise was the right side in that football game. A nice, healthy dog.
Or how about you just get out of here and leave? Like you're gone, leave.
Like, why are you on the sideline? Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, like you went down to the bowl game to try to cheer on your squad knowing you're fully healthy. At least try to step away from it and take yourself out. Like, why didn't Willie Taggart go down and not coach the game but just start clapping around the sideline? No, he's moved on. You moved on. Let them survive. That's their team now. You have nothing to do with that football team. You're trying to rally the troops on the field. I thought it was pretty comical.
Like you basically said, I'm too good play in this game because I'm going to the NFL and don't want to get hurt further here. Fuck off. Stay home.
Yeah.
Exactly. Georgia State, Donnie, another big winner here. They beat West Kentucky. And listen, all year, if you were laying points at West Kentucky, you were playing yourself. 1-6 against West Kentucky sucked. They sucked all year. They couldn't score all year. All these national fuck boys talking about, West Kentucky with this potent offense. How'd that work out for you, Chris Felica, you punk? Talking about on ESPN, West Kentucky's got a potent offense. Get the fuck out of here. Go away with Chris Felica, the bear. Who the hell is he? I never heard of that guy. Now all of a sudden he's Mr. Sports Better all of a sudden. West Kentucky stinks. Georgia State wanted the game more. They cared about it more. And Connor Manning was beautiful on Saturday, Donnie. An outright winner, another big underdog, plus 175. They get the job done. Georgia State a winner.
You know what's funny, Jeff, in that football game? I always like to do the look ahead. Like, what happens if I presented you the stats after the game and didn't tell you the score, and then you got to pick the game? And you said, you know what? I know one player in that football team that needs to dominate for Georgia State to win. That's Penny Hart. I think Penny Hart had one catch for 27 yards. If you told me that after the game and I was able to rebet it, I'd have said Washington or Western Kentucky would have slaughtered that football team, because the only shot I thought they would have had is if Hart went for like 7 for his 155 and 2 scores, which he's very capable of. Nice win for Georgia State. That just shows a team that was ready to play, was willing to engage and play, and took that bowl seriously. Good win for Georgia State.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. One other one, Middle Tennessee, Arkansas State, a great game here. A game filled with a lot of turnovers. I think there were 6 turnovers in this game combined. I watched this whole game, and I had the over, and I was saying to myself, boy, if this game doesn't go over, this is going to be a tough beat, because I was sitting with that 61-point number, and There was a touchdown called back. There was a touchdown going in where he fumbled. It was just a weird game, but a big time win for Middle Tennessee State. That's the Brent Stockstill effect, Donnie. When he's in the game, they win.
No, good coach, father-son coaching staff, and just plug and play with that kid. They ended up down the stretch getting hot, making a bowl game and winning a bowl game. Kudos to them. It was one of the teams. To shame, Jeff, because when we opened up the season, we were going over the conferences out there, what teams you're looking forward to. We all had our eyes pointed to Middle Tennessee State. Lost a lot of talent, lost their quarterback, still able to keep it together, make a bowl game, and win a bowl game. Congratulations to Middle Tennessee State. That's a great year with all those injuries you went through and still able to hang on, make a bowl, and win a bowl game. That was beautiful.
And you have to think about next year. I mean, Stock's still back for senior season. Ty Lee, I believe, is back as well. Richie James declared for the draft. But again, I mean, they're going to come back next year with a solid defense, Donnie, a senior quarterback that is going to be among the better quarterbacks in the country. They're going to have another big year next year, I'd imagine. Donnie, we move on. Though overall, a great bowl game day as far as the 5 games on the card.
Fun.
Tomorrow we'll break down Akron, Florida Atlantic University, which is coming up over tomorrow. Let's move on, Donnie. Little hitting the hardwood here. We'll recap what went on over the weekend. Couple tough beats in college hoops, particularly for me and one of them, UNLV. Donnie, I don't know if you saw the replay, but that's about as bad as it gets, Donnie. Up 11 with
No, I was getting it there. Tell me, because
go.
I actually didn't see it, Jeff. Was it inbounding or what happened there? Explain it to the people.
Basically, it was an 11-point game. Pacific had the ball. They get it down to one of their bigs, who, by the way, if you know anything about UNLV, you know that their 2 best players are their bigs, Houston and McCoy. They're like twin towers down low. So they get the ball down to this kid down low. He throws up a wild circus shot. He gets fouled, and it goes in. Okay, so he makes the 3-point play. He goes to the line. He's like a 55% foul shooter, and of course he makes it. So it's down to an 8-point game. So we're still a point up on the number, and all we need to do is basically inbound the ball, hit some free throws, and the game's probably over. Houston, who committed the foul on that 3-point play, inbounds the ball and turns it over. It goes right to the Pacific player. He's wide open for the 3 ball. Bang, 5-point game, and from then on it was over. But all we really need to do was get a stop on that 3-point play that had happened. You maybe get fouled again. You go up 13. They run it out. Even if they do try to go down and score again, it's a 13-point game, so it doesn't matter. Just a brutal beat. I mean, the whole game, it was like a double-digit lead. They were up 10-15 the whole way. Just sickening. Just hard to watch.
Gerald Martinez says Marvin Menzies is a car salesman. Step on someone's throat. Do you agree, Jeff?
I don't know if I would say that. I mean, we have to remember. I mean, UNLV's 8-2 against the spread this year. 8-3. I'm sorry. So I mean, they've done a nice job. People will get on Menzies. People will get on UNLV. The truth of the matter is, in this business, though, you can't just remember what happened in the first game. You got to move on. I mean, UNLV's been a good bet. It was a shady line to begin with. Why they were only 7.5 at Pacific. Probably should have known better there.
Jeff, we'll get to some games on the hard. We got 2 games tonight. Let's start with 7:33, 7:34 in the rotation. Boise State versus SMU. Some light ticketing action, but coming in early, Jeff. 64% of those wagers are siding with Boise State in this game. Line opened up at 7.5 at Pinnacle, 7.5 at Chris. Now, Jeff, we're seeing some 9s across the board. Even CG Technology and the Greek, Jeff, sporting minus 9.5 for the favorite here. SMU. What can we look forward to in this game on the hardwood tonight?
Yeah, I think one thing that I've always made kind of a point in doing is not betting against Southern Methodist at home. They have a great home crowd at Moody Coliseum. Last year, they were amazing at home last year. You look at Donnie over their last 42 games at home, 41-1. They don't lose very often at Moody Coliseum. And against the spread, they've covered 18 of 28 there. They're a very good home team. But I got to tell you, this Boise team is a pretty damn good road team, and you're getting a healthy amount of points here. This is not the SMU team of last year. Lost a lot of players, including their best player, Shemi Ojale. They're still a good team. But, Donnie, when you look for an underdog to cash a ticket like this, you ask yourself a couple questions. First of all, do they have a player that can take the game over? They do. Chandler Hutchison's a great player. Second of all, can they make their foul shots? Yes, 72%. They're actually a good foul shooting. Third, Can they make threes to stay in the game? Yes, 41%. And A, can they out-rebound their opponent? Yes, 40 to 35. This is a game for me. I'm looking toward Boise State. They might be on my card tonight as my play of the day. I have one in them and another game that I'm looking at. I like Boise. I think they're real. I think they're a good road team. They have a player that could take over the game, and they do the little things. They don't turn the ball over to high rate either. They can guard without fouling. Boise State looks pretty good here in this game. SMU getting a little too much respect to me in this.
745, 746, the Battle of Indiana, Jeff. IPFW versus Indiana. Some light ticketing action, but heavy bets here coming in. I should say heavy ticket count coming in the favor of Indiana here. Line opened up at 12 in both spots I look at, Pinnacle and also Chris. But the line has ballooned up again, Jeff. Pinnacle now showing 13.5. 13s at BetOnline, 13.5, pretty much across the board at this point. So it looks like the tickets coming in, pushing that line higher. IPFW, Indiana on the hardwood court, Jeff, 8 p.m. Eastern time. What are we looking for?
Yeah, this is a game last year where, if you remember, Tom Crean came under a lot of fire for accepting this game. Well, not only, accepting it was normal, but going to Fort Wayne and playing was questionable. They went to Fort Wayne and lost, Donnie. If you remember last year, as 13.5-point favorites, kind of the same number as this year. You got to ask yourself, revenge here is a dish best served cold. But listen, Indiana's a team that I'm not really looking to lay this kind of number with, especially when they're playing a Fort Wayne team that every year under John Kaufman, very good offensive team, 83 points a game. I think defensively this year they've been a little bit more improved. I'm impressed with what they've done there, and they can do the little things. They're a pretty decent offense. They can make their foul shots. They can hang in games. They already know they can beat Indiana. They did it last year, and that was a way better Indiana team that you're seeing this year. I'm going to look into this one a little bit more, but I'm concerned with Indiana. Okay, they're having trouble rebounding the basketball. They don't make foul shots. They're not a good three-point shooting team. I just don't know how much of a lead they're going to get here. Can they win by double digits? Sure, but when you're starting and seeing this line continue to move up, this is a game that Fort Wayne's always going to play hard in. It's basically that big brother kind of thing. I know Indiana will have the revenge here, but it's a lot of points to cover. Will they win? Sure, but I got a feeling this is like a 78-68 type of game.
Not here on that, Jeff. Winding down the show here, only got a couple minutes left. Since we're picking games, Jeff, why don't we just slide it over real quick before we get to the futures? We'll talk about the NFL game a little bit tonight because there is some NFL action, whether you care about it or not. It's a big game for the Atlanta Falcons here. If the Atlanta Falcons win tonight, Jeff, that means all those hot takes are going to go to cold takes. With the Aaron Rodgers, he's coming back. No way they're going to make a run and win like 10 straight games right into the Super Bowl. That will be done and balanced, which looks like it's probably going to be the case. 331, 332. Atlanta and Tampa Bay going to take place down in Raymond James Stadium. Jeff, line opened up early in the week, 6-5, depending on where you're shopping at. Chris actually showing -7, -101 right now. Bet online, -6.5, -119. So you're going to pay a pretty stiff juice if you want to keep it below that 7 number. Over under in this game, Jeff, opens up 47.5. Been bet up higher. Sportsbook.com now showing actually 49 in this game. When you're looking at divisional games, Jeff, to myself, even though both of these teams should be able to put up some points here, I do usually lean towards the under. So if you're getting a 49 number, it's hard to play a game in the 50s without some really good momentum going back and forth. I'm not sure that game can get over the total because if it was, 43, 44, 45, obviously NFL games are played to go over that, but this game will have to touch into the 50s. And keep in mind, folks, this is a business trip for Atlanta. No style points, just get in, get out. There's huge matchups coming in over the weekend that they're going to have the following week over Christmas weekend. But if you're looking at this game on its edge, are they a much better football team? The one thing, if I advise you, if you're going to take the Atlanta Falcons in this game tonight, it's sitting at 6.5 and 7. Why not sit back and wait for some inactives to come out? We all know, Jeff, the biggest, baddest boy on that defense is Gerald McCoy. He's not going to play in this football game. Levante David, to me, is the best playmaker on the defense. He's going to be out. Vernon Hargreaves had a terrible season at cornerback. He's already out. But a lot of other people are still banged up, including another offensive tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I would wait till game time, even if you lose it, Jeff, from 6.5 to 7, but you get some key injury updates there. Atlanta should be able to move the football and put this game away. Do I think Tampa Bay is going to put up some points and hang around? I do. But it all matters for inactives for me, and I'll have a play I'll put out a little bit later on this one. But right now, if you're asking me while we're doing it during this show, Jeff, I'm going to lean on taking the under in this football game if you can get the 49, and I'll lean on Atlanta, and I really would like Atlanta if I get some key inactives here a little bit later in the day. So right now, lean on the under, lean on Atlanta.
Yeah, it's Donnie, hard to bet at Tampa Bay at any role. 3-9 against the spread, 0-6 as an underdog. Um, they've been very disappointing this year. I agree with you. Atlanta looks like the play here. Donnie, I will say this. I think maybe let's maybe chat on here on the chat box a little bit. We'll save the
Yeah, let's do
futures
it.
for tomorrow.
Yeah, we will. We could say that.
Like,
Yep.
we could throw that in tomorrow. I do want to discuss
Yeah.
some college hoops teams that I'm getting on, which I think it's a good time to maybe get in on some of these futures. I have plenty in already, but we'll get into that tomorrow. Looks like we were hijacked a little bit, Donnie, on this chat here by some of these robotic things or whatever they are. Over under
Hmm.
on Winston coaches fired during his time in Tampa Bay at -3.5. Yeah, it looks like
Well, he's
Dirk
already going to
Cutter will
have
be the.
two basically at this. Yeah. So yeah, that's tough. Yep.
I would probably go over the 3.5. I mean, he's going to be there
Yeah, he's going.
pretty
Yeah,
long.
Jameis gonna, and even it doesn't even have to be in Tampa Bay either. Like Jameis gonna be around for a long time in the NFL. So whether or not he's the direct cause of it, most of the time, if you're an NFL quarterback and you're a good player, you're gonna stick around for 10 to 15 years. You're gonna see that overhit. That's for sure.
Is it him or is it the coaches?
No, that's what I
The
mean. Like,
coach.
like we're trying to pin it on him directly, which maybe you can account for maybe Dirk Cutter. But after a while, like coach, what's the coaching cycle? 3-4 years for a coach. He's going to be around like 15 years. So, I mean,
Did want to mention
whether or
this,
not it's
Donnie.
him or not.
We forgot about this. A huge news out of NASCAR today. Um, the power couple, Danica Patrick and Ricky Stenhouse, have ended their relationship. So NASCAR, whose season ended about 2 weeks ago, are in the news.
I thought she
Danica
married like a
Patrick.
chiropractor. How many husbands she got, or how many people she with?
No, she's been with Ricky for about 10 years or 5 years
Really?
now. The 17
Jesus.
car, yeah. So, by the way, guys, Danica is back on the market. She's ended her. She's retired of NASCAR, and now she's gonna live in lap of luxury. Might be a nice sugar mama to go after, Donnie.
Yeah,
If
no.
you're,
I mean, hey, she took the Anna Kournikova route, which I can't hate the Jeff. I can't hate the player. I mean, you got to hate the game. She made a ton of money for not doing anything in racing, but that's a skill set, Jeff. Money in your
yeah,
bank account is a skill set.
we remind ourselves that she's never won a race. And listen, I follow
I think she
NASCAR
got
more than
one in
people think.
Japan or something like that, didn't she? Whatever, it's some
No,
open wheel racing. She has like,
sh
yeah.
well, in the NASCAR in the Sprint Cup series, she's never won.
No, I got you.
So
Yes, correct.
she's had like a lot of top 10 finishes, but in a recent documentary, I guess according to ESPN, she revealed she had eggs frozen and that she wanted kids, wanted to be married first. So I guess that's gonna have to take a back seat because Stenhouse and her have not worked out. So
Mm.
for all of you guys out there, maybe you have your chance now
Yeah.
with with Danica. Are you guys on again today? No, we're not, Gary. We're on at 10 o'clock only. I am on a soccer show a little bit later, but other than that, we are not on today. Uh, so yeah,
I
this
got
is
a
all you're
playoff
going to
video
see of
coming
mine.
out a little bit later today. Yep, you'll see our You'll see our faces, just not together the rest of the day. That's all.
Correct. I want to do every video with Donnie, but unfortunately, doesn't always work out like that. But again, if you're interested in knowing what the programming is here at SBR, feel free to check out sbrpicks.com. There's a schedule every day on the right side there. So yeah, feel free to check that out. Other than that, guys, we'll wrap it up for today. Donnie leaning towards the Atlanta Falcons, and you said the over, right, Donnie?
Yeah, no, I'm actually going to sit on the under at that 49. I think it actually might
Un-
even go up a little bit higher today because divisional games, I do like to. And again, one team's not going to be engaged, technically, Tampa Bay. One team just wants to get a victory. I'll lean on that 50, 49, whatever it's going to get up to there. But if you follow me on Twitter, I'll put out something we're leaning on. Maybe we can make a little bit of money on, similar to the game last night with the Cowboys worked out. Maybe we can bang another winner. But I also have a video coming out today setting up some playoff scenarios and what to look for and what to bet this weekend. So we'll have some fun there. I know Bigman has some good stuff going on. But yeah, another fun show here on a Monday. Busy. We could go on for 3-4 hours, but we only have this hour time slot. We'll get back after it tomorrow, and we'll have some more fun here, Jeff.
Yeah, we're back tomorrow, Tuesday, 10 o'clock a.m. For me today, again, if you can bet this, bet it. Again, as many know, I'm a big soccer guy. I'm on Everton today, win the nil against Swansea City. Donnie, Swansea City is a lot like the New York Giants. They're the worst, one of the worst teams in the league. They have 9 goals in 17 games. They're brutal. Everton is ascending up. They're playing good football after getting a new manager. I like them. I think they have a clean sheet today. So you can bet that today. Maybe you want to look into it. Other than that, we're going to wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Everyone have a great on day. Bye-bye.